I'd like to touch on one of them today, the one that probably best exemplifies the gulf between Washington and the rest of the country, and that's gun safety. Now, I don't have to tell you that a mayor's #1 job is protecting people's lives so that they can go home to their families each day. It's a government's most fundamental responsibility, and it is impossible to meet it by ignoring the fact that criminals and other dangerous people have easy access to guns. Over the years, I've spent a lot of time traveling around this country with mayors, volunteers, and students about gun violence. Everywhere I go, whether it's Las Vegas, Tulsa, Minneapolis, Atlanta, San Antonio, or any place else, people tell me how important this issue is to them, and it should be. Every day, innocent people who might have been saved by common sense gun laws lose their lives. For mayors, it's not about ideology. It's about real life. And that's why there are more than 1,000 current and former mayors in a group called Mayors Against Illegal Guns, including, I'm glad to say, many of you here today. I started the group with the late Boston mayor, my friend Tom Menino, back in 2006. Back then, practically nobody in Congress would stand up for basic gun safety laws. The conventional wisdom was, if you stood up, the NRA could end your political career. Now, I never believed that conventional wisdom, but if there was ever any truth to it, it is certainly dead today now. When I left City Hall, our team created a national organization called Every Town for Gun Safety, and we teamed up with a group of mothers for gun safety called Moms Demand Action. Together, those groups are serving as the counterweight to the NRA, with a lot of support from you and from your constituents. We've been making progress in both blue and red states. And over the past year, 20 states have enacted stronger gun laws, including states where the NRA has long dominated. Now, not only is the NRA losing around the country, they are losing in their own backyard. This hotel is only 20 miles from NRA headquarters, which is just across the river in Virginia. In 2017, candidates in Virginia for governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general all took on the NRA, and they all won their elections. And if you're looking at the polling data, it wasn't that the NRA was just ineffective or unconvincing. The NRA's endorsement was toxic in the eyes of suburban voters, women voters, and voters overall. That got the pundits' attention. Then we all saw what happened in 2018. People have always favored sensible, common-sense gun laws. But in the midterms, millions of Americans stood up and demanded action, and candidates responded by making gun safety a top priority. So this movement is on the march, and I know mayors are eager to lead. But here's the problem. Many of you are stuck between a rock and a hard place. Here's what I mean by that. On one side, the federal government does nothing to help you. On the other side, your state government might block you from even trying to take action. One way they try is to pass what is called firearms prevention laws, preemption laws, which the NRA has pushed. And over 40 states now have these laws. These laws are intended to restrict cities and towns from passing sensible public safety laws that are tailored to local conditions. In some states, these preemption laws are also so punitive that city officials can face personal fines or even removal from office just for passing responsible, common-sense gun laws that help protect the public. You can't make this stuff up. But we also can't accept it. And if you want to fight back and defend your local laws in the courts, I can tell you my organization, Every Town for Gun Safety, will have your back. Let me tell you what I mean. Every town already works with mayors, police chiefs, parents, and gun violence survivors, and more. And now every town has added a team of legal experts to their staff so they can help you protect your right to take local action. Let me just give you a couple of quick examples. After Seattle enacted a responsible gun storage ordinance, the NRA sued, naturally. Well, I can tell you that Mayor Jenny Durkin wasn't going down without a fight. Every town helped her defend the law in court, and I'm glad to report they won. In Columbus, Ohio, Mayor Anthony Ginther is fighting in court to defend the city's ban on bump stocks, and we're glad to support him. We're also helping Missoula, Montana defend its background check law. We're helping Boulder, Colorado defend its limits on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines. And we're helping dozens of Florida mayors and cities challenge the state's punitive preemption law, which they did after last year's Parkland shooting. Every town lawyers are representing them, along with Florida attorneys. And several of those mayors are with us today, including Parkland Mayor Christine Hunchofsky, and I want to know this is very personal for them, but we are with you. Now, every town is supporting each of these cities because these are fights worth having, and they're ready to stand with you as well. Remember, where there's a will, there's a way. So once you're back home, talk to your legal counsel about which fights you might want to take on. Then call every town and put them to work. Let me share one final thought with you. I've devoted many years on how to fight gun violence. When we started, other mayors and I would come to D.C. for meetings. Lawmakers would hear us out, they'd nod their heads, and then they'd give us a cold shoulder. But now members of Congress want to talk about gun safety, and the House wasted no time in introducing a background check bill after the last election and after they were put in office. So what's changed? Well, it's not just public opinion. People were outraged long before Parkland, before Charleston and Newtown, and on and on. We've been outraged for a long time, but now we are organized, and that's the key difference. And strong leadership from mayors has helped make it happen. So I want to thank you all for standing up for gun safety when others wouldn't. I want to urge you to keep up the fight and take it to the next level. We're ready to work with you, and I should mention, we work for free.